Alright, I've got this arrayment of jewelry I'm going to take apart. I haven't decided exactly what I'm doing yet. I figured I'd show you my process. And so I've got this beautiful vintage necklace, which I've tried to sell and it doesn't sell, so I'd rather have the beads. This bracelet that I cut, but I haven't taken off the elastic yet. I do have this piece, but I don't think I'm going to use it today. And then I had two chains. This was a Leah Sophia, and I took off the tag because you cannot leave the tag on. I was going to use this one, but you can see the quality difference in just the shape and finish of the Leah Sophia. The only thing I did different was I changed out the jump ring because they had a weird little, really bad looking jump ring that the hang tag was on with the clasp, and I changed that out. So we're not going to use this one, although this is a nice one because these are such high quality and reflective crystal. So what I'm going to do is, I was thinking I'm going to cut this necklace, and please don't groan and moan about it because I seriously tried to sell this for a long time and it would not sell. And I had it priced like $12, so it's not going to sell. There's no point in it, and these beads would cost me way more than that to buy all these crystal beads. And then we're going to take this and pull all these off the this bracelet. These were all pieces that this I think I got in a jewelry lot I bought on eBay years ago when you could still get a really nice lot for a decent price. This was in one of my Goodwill bags or boxes. So what I was thinking is we'll put this big jump ring on here, and then we'll figure out what to do next. I'm thinking I would like to do some kind of bead attached to this that can, let's see, we'll find my pliers. I lent my granddaughter Lorelei a couple of my pliers, so I'm having to figure out what I have. She's quite the project girl. Okay. And then you want to do it till you kind of feel them rub against each other. And then you just straighten it out a little bit. That might be too big. I don't think I like that. See how ginormous that is? Let's see if we have one that's just a tiny, I think the one I used on the clasp is too big. Like I said, I'm leaving this in because I'm showing you my process. Some people have asked me to do that. So I'm showing you my process. I think this one's smaller, but we'll see if it's too small. So let's take this off, because this is how I create. I come up with some ideas based on what I find in my jewelry. And I've got a whole pile over here of other pieces I want to take apart. But I first was going to do an all clear one. An all clear piece, and then I saw that gorgeous blue and thought it would be fun to accent it with a little bit of blue. Let's see if I can. I've got my pliers. Remember, I've got a camera between me and my project. It makes it a little bit tougher. I don't think this is going to work. Let's see. Hold on. But this is part of it. If I was doing this without the camera, I'd be doing the same thing. I'd be trying it out, seeing what I think. Yeah, see, this is too thick. It won't go through there. Because the other one was a little bit thinner. See how it's a little, it doesn't make a big, it doesn't take a huge difference for it to not work. So let's see what we got here. So I have something that's smaller and thinner and will work just as well. Let's see. This is a dilemma. I'm not finding anything. Oh, here we go. Here's a little bag. Let's see if one of these is smaller and thinner. Let's just dump these out over here. I think they might be just a little bit thinner. That's big. We want something smaller. And it might come down to, and this has happened to me before, that it has to be big enough to, it has to be bigger to, oh, nope, that's going to work. Okay, that's great. That is going to work. Here we go. I'm hoping my dog doesn't start barking. If she does, I'll get up and shut the door. Our next door neighbor's getting a roof put on, and for some bizarre reason, our little Maggie is not up in the window on her ottoman barking at all the workers. I'm not exactly sure why. That's normally her thing. But I think she's depressed because our grandkids came over for a couple days, and she was so happy, and then they haven't been back now in a couple days. Okay, it doesn't give it a whole lot of movement, but we don't really need any movement. So we'll just get that straight, and then that is just a little bit smaller, and I think that looks better. Okay, I don't like how this camera, let me see, I need to move it over a little bit, so I'm making sure I'm staying in camera where my hands naturally go. Okay, so let's get this straightened up. The key is making sure that you have it lined up perfectly. So I'm going to just kind of, I lent Lorelei my thicker ones because she had like a bigger project. So I've only got my needle nose. It's making it a little bit harder today, but that's okay. We'll make do. I have a pair that's not quite so pointy. These are very pointy. See, I'm still pulling it toward me, so let's see. Get the camera in a good place. I'm determined to overcome my issues with the camera. Now, the back of this is smooth, and the front is indented. This was a pendant or a loose piece in one of my boxes from Goodwill. All right, so we're going to figure out what we're going to do here. Now, I have a little looped head pin which can hook onto here, and I can put a bead or two. Now, my initial idea was to use one of these big ones and hook that, but then I saw the blue and thought it'd be fun to have blue, but now it's very tiny, which might be good, or I can even do something like this. Well, see, I want two of these bigger ones. I got to find two that match because I have an idea of what I want to do. I think I'll use those. So I could take something like this, but you don't want to make the pendant so big it looks ridiculous. You know what I mean? So like that might be too long. I think it's a one bead thing. So if I want to make earrings that have blue, I'll have to use a small blue bead. I'm not sure if I like that. The blue might not work out. But I have another idea of what I can do. So let's go ahead. What I was initially going to do is use one of these bigger ones and do this kind of a thing. So let's go ahead. Now, I've got this one's going to hook on the jump ring, so it's in the right place. But this one's got to go around unless we put a jump ring on the necklace, which I'm thinking I might do. So I'm going to get, oh, I just bumped my camera. This is going to happen. So I'm going to take my little rolly thing. And so if I'm going to put a jump ring, this will go around this jump ring, and then this will go around the other jump ring, right? So we're going to roll that. Roll that. I'm determined. Let me get this camera down a little bit more. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. How did I do that? That's funny. Okay, we don't need it closer up. Hold on. Camera difficulties. How did I do that? Ah, there we go. I touched the top of the camera, which pulled it in. Okay. So, you can be laughing at me now. It's perfectly fine. This is a bit ridiculous. And I just lost what I was doing. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I'm just going to cut off the excess. See, what I normally use is this tool, but since I don't know where you can buy this tool, I try not to use it too much, but it's my favorite tool because it has a flat side and a rounded edge. And I know my friend Colleen bought me one, a bigger one, which Lorelei is borrowing because she needed a big one. And I can't remember what she told me it was called. But it's a super cool tool. If you can find it, it's worth it. But you can, of course, use the double. See, I keep wanting to pull it up close to me, but I'm determined. I'm going to overcome this bad habit I have of pulling up out of frame. I'm going to keep this in frame. All right, so you're going to make a nice little loop on that. And then this one will hook on there. So let's open that up. See which side. Can't always see which side is the one that opens up. And then we're going to put that jump ring on there. Like that. Okay, and close it up. Okay, and then that is our pendant. And then this will hook on the jump ring. I think I did that right. I don't think I did though. Hold on. Let me put a jump ring on here. We're going to do probably the same size, a little bit smaller, not the big giant one. Maybe about that size maybe. And we'll put this on there and see if that's going to hang right. Now see, I did it wrong. Because what I should have done is I should have put it sideways. So you don't want to do it without holding on to both ends. So it's kind of good this happens so I can show you what you do. So you're going to take one plier and then you're going to twist this side sideways. So that way the jump ring can go through this right here. But I think it's still, I think I was right the first time though. Because look at that. Well, let's see. Yeah, I was right the first time. Look. See, I was right. Oh boy. You get to laugh at me today. Okay. Well, that one I was able to turn without messing with it. Okay. So you can just laugh at me today. I'm having some technical issues. But I'm kind of rusty right now. I'll be honest. Okay, let's tuck this in here. I don't make a ton of my own pendants. I do make them, but a lot of times I have buckets of pendants that I've taken off of necklaces or those, you know, the ones that are more of a cord. A lot of beautiful pendants come on those cords. And so I take the beautiful pendant off. Okay, now that should hang right. There we go. Well, it doesn't, you got to turn it the right way. So there we go. And you can wear it either direction. If you think it looks, it's got a little bit more reflection on the back with the cut side facing in. And the front, it still has it though. So that's a beautiful pendant. And just long enough that I think that'll work. So, now, I'm not going to use the blue then because that will clash. But we'll do another piece with the blue. So what I'm going to do is show you two different ways to make an earring. And it gives you a totally different look. So let's say I'm going to take 3 different sizes of these beads. And I've got several different ones to work with. So the bigger one we have is, let's see, I think these here. So here's a big one. And then we have a medium one, see? And then we have a small one. Like that. Now, you can take and you can roll that over and make that an earring. But I'm going to show you the other way to do it that I love to do. Now, you're going to take one small head pin. I don't think I have any tiny ones. I have to use a regular size. Just cut it. And you're going to put your big bead on the bottom of that. Okay, is that different? I think that's a different large bead. We'll do this one. And then what you're going to do, there we go, Then what you're going to do is you're going to take the one that has the rolling ability. You're going to roll it around. I cut where I think I'm going to have to, and some of this is instinctual. As you do this, you get to where you kind of know where to roll it, but it doesn't mean I don't sometimes trim it some more. So then I'm going to take and I'm going to roll it around. And this is basic jewelry making. So if you've already made jewelry, this is nothing new. But if you're new, just starting to see, now that's still just a tiny bit too long. So I'll trim a tiny bit more off of there. Just a tiny bit. Like I said, this is very basic jewelry making, and it's something that you learn as you go. So I'm going to clip that, just that tiny nick, and then I'm going to roll this, because what I want to do is I want to get it rolled and tucked. So you'll hear it kind of snap in when you get it tucked. But I want to do that, see, and have one little charm here. Then I'm going to take the next one, which would be that middle one, which would be that size, and I can take one of these this time, and I'm going to put the bead on there. But sometimes it's better to hook it on as you go. So I'm gonna, because the bead sometimes slides slightly down over the end there, and you want a nice tight fit. So it's better to sometimes hook it on as you go. So you're going to hook that one on there. Now sometimes this bottom one's a little longer. I didn't clip that short enough. So that's something you might want to do is, and honestly, I'm such a particular person when I'm making jewelry, I'd probably go back and change that. But honestly, if it's the bottom drop, I don't mind as long as I get the other two a little bit tighter. So we're going to use, which one was it? This one. And we're going to slide that on there. And this time I'll work harder to get a smaller loop. And I'm going to twist it around like this. And I'm going to cut it a lot tighter. See? Cut it a lot tighter. You want to kind of put it down on the mat so you don't spray shards of metal across your room. Okay, it's a little smaller. I don't go for perfection, but I try to do them as, see, you heard that little snap? It snaps in. Okay, and then you're going to take the little tiny one on top and get another one of these little bitties. And if you don't have these little bitties, it's not that hard to cut them down. Okay, so this is the final one, and we got to, this one's harder to hold. It is very tiny. Oh, I'm going to do the same thing though. I'm going to hook it on to here before I put the last bead on. Okay, I'm going to hook it on here. And you can do these as long as you want. If you like long earrings, I've done this with the same size bead, 4 or 5 beads long, and that is really fun. Maybe I'll do a pair of those with the blue, because I wear a lot of blue and I could use a nice pair of blue earrings. So maybe we'll do that. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing. If you don't have this, just use the double round tool. It really does work good. It's just I've been working, my husband bought me a vintage pair of these. I think it's in my box here. Let me see if I can find it to show you. He bought me a vintage pair of jeweler's pliers many, 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 many years ago. I know they're in here. Let me find them. And that's what I used for years until by fluke luck, see these? And then by fluke luck, I was on a site, oh my gosh, it has to have been 10 years ago. This is my original pair, and that's what I used for years. And these are really old, and they're very well made. And by fluke luck, I was on a beading site, and they were selling these. So I bought 2 pairs. And then Colleen, when I was showing them on one of my earlier videos, found me a bigger pair that were slightly, they were more along the lines of the old ones. Because you can see how petite these, wait, where is it? You can see the difference when you hold them up together. This one's much chunkier than the new one. And the new one she bought me has a chunkier, it's longer like this, but they're chunky like this, which is great. So I have both. So this one, and Colleen, if you happen to watch this, if you can pop in and if you remember what those pliers were called, but you've told me like 2 times and I forget. Okay, now that's the difference. You can have one where you loop, I'm not going to do it because I might do another one of these, or you can do like that. You can see the difference. This has more movement, and when you put it on the ear wire, which I will do real quick and show you. When you put it on the ear wire, if you like earrings that move when you move your head, doing them this way is a lot more fun because they will move. But if you don't like really long earrings, see, these are more likely to move when you move your head. Well, I'll go ahead and put this, I'll loop this for you and show you the difference. Oops, wrong tool. And I always push it back just a little bit before I bend it. And then we'll go ahead and do that. And it gives it a totally different look. Whoops, sorry, I bumped the camera. It gives it a totally different look. Same beads, same everything, but you putting them on like that, I'll show you on the ear wire the difference. It really makes a difference. Some of these ear wires open on top and some open on the bottom. You got to figure it out. And I've just got hundreds of them in a bin. Okay, so this is how they look when they're together. This one's obviously longer. It moves more. This one still moves, but if you like a smaller earring, that might be a better choice for you. That earring is a little bent. Some of my ear wires are a little twisted. But anyway, that makes a really cute, more petite earring. And then this one is more long and fun and playful. But it's 2 different ways you could do the earrings. And then here's your necklace to go with either this earring or this earring. And I'll put them both side by side so you can see them with the necklace. See? And that's the fun part of making your stuff out of old jewelry, is there's just no end to what you can do. And look how sparkly and pretty this whole thing is. And like I said, this was a Leah Sophia that I took the tag off. Here it is. This was the tag that was on it. And I did not take apart a Leah Sophia necklace. The charm was already missing. I got the chain by itself. So, beautiful set. And I'll probably do, I don't know, as much as I prefer this, I'll probably do the other earring like this, honestly. I think more people like this type. So I think, and they've got the same kind of reflection. This is a little bit more pink. This has some other colors. I'll probably do the other earring like this, because I think most people would prefer that. But I'll make another earring. If I have enough beads to do both, I'll make another one of these and another one of those. Might not. I might have to take this apart to make another one of those, because I don't think, oh, there's 2 more littles. Let's see, 2 more. Is there 2 more mediums? Oh, I don't, yeah? About the largest. I think they're the square. This one has the pointed edges. Pointed edges. I do. I can make 2 more pairs. So I'll make another of those, and I'll make another of this, and this will be listed in my eBay shop hopefully by the time this video comes out. So if you want to see more close-up pictures and get a better idea, I want to start doing blog posts again. I haven't done that yet. And then I think I'll make myself a pair of these. So I'll do a second video and do a pair, see what other beads I have that go with this, and maybe make a little stack set of the blue beads to show you how pretty they can be when you do them long. Maybe I'll even do a charm with them. I don't know. We'll see what I can come up with. But for today, I thought this was a fun set, and it gives you 2 ideas on how to do your earrings. And let me see if I can get that under the camera. There we go. There we go. So, and these are one of a kind, and I understand that, but you will be surprised when you start buying secondhand jewelry, the amount of variety of stuff you can come up with. And this could have been anything. I could have done this with any kind of glass or metal charm. It wouldn't have mattered. I could still do this. This just happened to be perfect. But that's the fun of working with old jewelry and taking it apart, is you can have so much fun. So I'll be back with the blue earring and maybe bracelet or necklace set the next time. I hope you enjoyed this and it gave you a few ideas of stuff maybe you have that you can take apart. Like I said, over here I've got another pile of all kinds of pretty things I'm planning on taking apart, or some is already apart, like this one for the beautiful blue beads. And so I have just all kinds, and this is just a tiny handful out of bags of stuff I have. So we got plenty of fun stuff to work with. So I'll be back soon, and I think I kept in frame most of the time. Yay. And thanks to Lori from Happy Bird who told me to do this. She told me this a couple years ago, and because that's how she films hers, and she's right. It's the way to do it. So I appreciate that advice, and I think this will work better. We'll get better videos, and I won't have my big hands in the way, and you'll be able to see most of what I do. So I'll be back soon. Bye.